Why are you walking around in public wearing your pajamas? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Cheery Fashionista. In this video, I'm going to help some of you by letting you know some of the things that you're probably wearing in public and you don't even know that, it's like a big no. Of course, you have a right to do whatever you want after this video. Nobody's going to, force you to do anything, but these are just, things that I think a lot of people will agree with. So, first thing, pajamas in public. Okay, I don't know if you've looked at a pajama pant. The way it's designed, it's meant for home. This is something you're supposed to wear in bed, in the bedroom. Honestly, it's not even supposed to leave the bedroom. That's how serious it is. Because if you look at how it's designed, it's for, sleeping, and then when you wake up, you leave it in the bedroom. That's why it looks like a blanket. So, if you're out here, maybe you had to rush to get milk. Yes, you had to do that, but it's not a good look. It makes you look like you're not serious. It looks like you're not organized. You're going out in public and, coming across germs and dirt. Your pants are usually they're very loose fitting and sagging. So you're walking around and dragging all the dirt on your pajamas, and now we're looking at you like, okay, so you're gonna drag all that back to your bed. So it makes you look like you're not hygiene, like you don't practice good hygiene. So leave pajamas at home. Also, can you imagine wearing your pajamas and meeting maybe your boss or maybe your ex, and then your ex maybe is like with someone new and they're just looking at you like, oh my goodness, I am so glad I left you in the past. So these are very embarrassing moments that you don't want to be, caught up in. So leave them at home. I know, people probably learned this trend from, elementary or middle school, where they have the pajama day, but that was for school. That was for them. Like if you're an adult and you're leaving home in your pajamas, no, something's not right. It's not a good look. Number 2, ladies, and I've been here as well, wearing heels that you can't walk in. We've all been there. You see a pair of shoes online, you're like, I have to have this pair. You don't even care about the heel size, you just have to have it. And then when it arrives and you wear it, you think you can walk in it, but then when you're out there in public, it's a struggle. It's really embarrassing. And like for me, when I see a woman wearing very uncomfortable shoes and struggling to walk in, for me, I start praying. I'm like, oh my goodness, I hope she doesn't fall. I hope she gets quickly to where she's going, because it is so cringe. And in this day and age, you'll be the next person trending on social media because you wore shoes that are too high. You guys, ladies, it's okay to wear kitten heels, block heels. I know sometimes you want to go for the sexy look. I get that. Have a backup plan. Carry flats. Make sure like if you park your car, the distance that you're walking to and from. Have a separate bag. These bags are like very affordable on Amazon, where you can just carry flats in your in your purse. And flats are they're not like bulky like other kinds of shoes, so it's very easy to carry them. So do yourself a favor, don't embarrass yourself. And also, if you are wearing high heels and maybe the outfit really looks good and now you're struggling to walk, so the whole outfit just goes from a 10 to a 0. Yeah, so ladies, please carry your Louboutins, Manolos in a bag, and then make sure you have a plan B. I don't know if you remember a video of this woman who was struggling to walk in her red bottom shoes. It was so cringe. This is like what I think about every time. Excuse me. Third thing, you guys, and you know I'm a big fan of sunglasses, but you guys, wearing sunglasses as a headband indoors, like, that is so not, you know, it's not for this time that we're in. You know, when we see you wearing sunglasses on the top of your head, we think you're going to the mall, and we all know that malls they're outdated. People don't go to the mall. So when we see you in that, we wonder what decade you're in, because that is something of the past. So sunglasses on the head, it's just not going to work. I know you're trying to go for a cool look, but you can imagine how cringe, and you are not even aware when they start, you know, going on one direction, or they're almost falling off, and then you don't even know it until someone tells you. It's so cringe and so embarrassing. So save yourself the hassle and the, you know, plus it's very distracting. Like, it's almost like an attention seeking thing, because it makes you look like you're seeking attention, and so the attention goes to the sunglasses, and so anything you're saying nobody can even hear, because the sunglasses take all the attention. The other thing that is so cringe is low rise clothing. Okay, showing your thongs, your underwear, that is so Y2K, that is so 2000. Like, who does that in this day and age? We are not trying to see your underwear, we're not trying to see your shorts, your boxers, whatever is underneath. Please keep it to yourself. That is something for home. That is why it's called under, because nobody's supposed to see it. It's supposed to be hidden. Please stop showing your underwear out in public and thinking it's cool. Also, you give a bad impression. Like, even if you do it for a day, people are still going to remember that time you showed your underwear. So impressions matter. Seriously, think twice before you hop on this Y2K trend that is never going to come back. So if you do this, you are obviously, like, you're just, it's a fail. It's never going to work. The other thing that I don't understand, and I know this is a teen thing, is wearing socks with sandals. I just don't get it. But okay, if you're going to wear socks with sandals, could you at least make sure that they're clean? If you're walking around in, you know, slides, sorry, when I say sandals, I mean slides. If you're walking around in slides with dirty socks, and it's supposed to be cool, it's so gross to look at. It makes no sense. And then to wear it in like hot weather, like, it doesn't even make any sense. And I'm sorry, you guys, I know some people like to do this, but if you have to do it, could you do it with clean socks, please? Also, could you do it when it's like cool, like when you're actually cold, not when it's 90 degrees and we know you're sweating and it's just no. Then finally, for me, leggings, see-through leggings. Seriously, that is so not okay. Whether you're going for a athleisure look, or it doesn't matter what is going on, when the sun hits the leggings and we can see your underwear and the print, and we're supposed to be okay because you're going to the gym, it is so cringe. It is so uncomfortable to look at. Now they have very affordable athleisure wear that you can wear, so there's no excuse. You don't have to, there's no need to do that unless that's your thing. But if you're doing that and you are not aware, then it's very embarrassing. So yeah, I thought I would share, you guys. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.